this. There we go. That seems to have done it. There we go.
Somewhere I believe it's my fault, Papa.
No, it isn't, son. It's mine.
Cops, he did it!
You're under arrest. Yeah, what are the charges?
Obstruction of justice!
Obstruction of justice, violence,
Public urination.
public violence,
And urination.
Guys, you're listening to the music podcast.
With Cole and Jasper.
We're Cole and Jasper. Cole, what are I know I asked you this before when we thought we were recording, but we weren't. But for the viewers out there, what are you wearing?
Oh, not much.
Okay. That was the same answer you gave last time. Thank you for that. For the, stability.
Yeah. We had a previous podcast, but it got deleted.
We've actually been podcasting for about 20, maybe 39 years.
Yeah.
29, 39.
We have quite the experience in the podcast realm, but we've never put anything on the internet before.
We're also big-time music producers, RCA,
Yes.
Mercury, Capitol.
We're just listing
MCM.
record companies.
These are all ones that we've produced for, and
Yeah.
we were actually too good for them, so they said we are not going to work with you ever again because of what you did, and what we did was we were better than them.
That is exactly what we did.
And it had nothing to do with anything else. So Cole, I'm going to ask you a question. We got 12 notes here.
That's a misconception. But I'll let you believe that for a second. Okay. What's your question?
In our division of the octave, we have 12 notes.
Sure
now.
you do.
Thanks. Can we pick one of those notes to start with?
Okay, I've picked it.
All right. What's your note?
Oh, that doesn't sound like it's part of the trick.
Oh, this is just a topic.
Okay, what's my favorite note?
F?
A flat.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was in the same diminished
You were in the same diminished
thing.
group of four.
Yeah. Do you ever think about that? There's like if you had to pick your favorites, like if it would be like those four, and those four.
Yeah. It would definitely.
It'd be the A
It
flat.
would, no, it'd be the It would be the C, E flat, F sharp, A.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones. Hey, if you play a cover and you put it out as a podcast, do you have to pay like copyright or what's
Yeah.
in there? Yeah. But you're not making money off it.
Yeah, but you are.
But you've recorded.
But you're a big time music producer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're actually making bank off this podcast right now.
Every second-
If you're listening to this, your bank account is already being
Drained.
extracted.
It's
Exactly.
all going on me and Cole, big fat cats of
Yeah.
producer world.
Say, which brand of expensive private jet do you think we should buy after we're done with this podcast?
Probably Boeing, the only one.
Boeing.
Are there others that I don't know about, or is it just
That's pronounced Boeing.
because of how we bounce into the air?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Yeah. So, A flat, is that your key that you picked?
I think that's my key that I picked, yeah.
Okay. So we got A flat here. We got A flat.
That's the key I'm talking about. We should talk about key changes.
So when you're in A flat, you have three options.
You
G.
have infinite options.
Your next option is D flat, and your only other option is doing A flat another time.
There is only one other option.
Those are so I'm just saying if you're in A flat and you need to change keys, you only have three options: G,
I've never heard a half step down before.
Yeah. No.
What about you can't go up?
Well, you can, but you're gonna have to pay 50 light coins first.
It is true. If you truck drivers gear change.
A lot of people don't
hot
know.
commodity, and especially in country music.
Yeah,
if you're playing country music, it's more expensive.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know when they get into music and like pursuing music as their career, but it can get really expensive because for every note you change, you actually owe a certain amount in Litecoin or other crypto to the masters. And now we haven't talked about the masters on this podcast yet, but you and me have definitely talked about them a lot. So
we may or may not be the masters.
So who's your favorite master of the 4 masters of music? We can't.
I was
say
gonna
their
say I
names.
like Megamind.
Yeah, Megamind's good.
Yeah.
I like that he, he's blue. That's cool.
Big head.
It's like blues music. He probably invented.
I'm wearing blue, by the way. We're both wearing blue.
blue
Yeah.
shirts.
I lied about how much I was wearing before. I'm wearing a lot of blue.
Actually, everything you're wearing.
Everything
is blue.
I'm wearing
Even
is
your
blue.
socks. Huh?
That might be my favorite color. Go Dodgers.
Your socks are blue, right?
No. Yes.
They're kind of blue. They have blue and orange.
Yeah.
It's like Dodgers and Marlins. You're a big Dodgers fan.
I'm a big Marlins fan now. After you made that connection.
I like the Marlins. I think.
I love how much they suck.
Yeah, they should be better one day.
Maybe.
But so
You know, most of the teams in the major leagues are blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Royals.
It's kind of an ununique color.
I like the Royals.
They're different shades of blue, but
Hey, if anyone out there is listening in Kansas City, I just want to shout out. You got a great city, according to me, who was there once for one day.
I've never been to Missouri at all, actually. Let's talk about states for a second.
So New Mexico.
Yeah.
We got To Come Carry, and are there any other songs mentioned in music about New Mexico? Probably not.
Well, High School Musical takes place in New Mexico, so
Really were.
Albuquerque.
So does Breaking Bad.
So does Breaking Bad.
Great
Those are
music show.
2 great musicals.
You know, Breaking Bad's a great music show because it starts like.
Exactly.
And it's like.
Is To Come Carry in New Mexico? I know Tucson is in Arizona.
Yeah, To Come Carry. I passed it it's on the 40 freeway. It's
But what
near
about the
Texas.
other 2 cities mentioned in that song?
So Tehachapi, there's a town in California called Tehachapi in between Bakersfield and Mojave, which is.
I feel like you should pass
Tehachapi Mountains.
Tucson after To Come Carry then if you're going to Tehachapi.
When I visualize that song, we're talking about Willin' by Little Feat, which we'll play later probably.
For now.
The way this is going, that means it's going good too. But not
Yeah.
bad. But when I think of that song, I think like. You go to Tucson, To Come Carry. Like that's one little car trip
Yeah.
on like an animated
Right.
map with like funny cactuses and
Right,
stuff.
did they
and
make a music video for this song?
we should.
Yeah.
And it should be animated, and it's like those like when
I
they
don't
make
know
like
how to
cartoon maps.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that hard. Huh?
Oh.
Just draw once, and then. But so yeah, you get like a cartoon map, and like they got like a big cactus in the southwest, and then like big trees in the northwest, and it's like everything's like much bigger than it could possibly be, but it's because it's like made, to show what's there on that map, and it's like for kids.
That's right.
I see that kind of map with Willin,
I can see that.
and it's like.
What about at the beginning though?
Well, that I just see a man talking about how he's sad, and he doesn't want to.
But it should also be animated. And he
is
should be
animated.
standing on the big map.
He's very tired, and he's on the big map, and he's on like a mountain, and he's like.
Ooh, and when he walks from Tucson, we should have him walk from Tucson to Come Carry.
No,
and
he's trucking. He's driving.
Oh,
Or he can walk.
and it takes him like 2 seconds because it's so big on the map.
Tucson to Come Carry. So there's like a truck or he's walking, and you go between there, and then it just clips right to the next one where he's suddenly in Tehachapi, California. And then Tonopah. There's a Tonopah, Nevada.
I think that's what he's
Which is
talking
very
about.
cursed. And there's also Tonopah, Arizona.
Wait,
so I have to
why is
wonder
it?
if that's-
But he already mentioned Tucson, Arizona. I feel like Arizona doesn't deserve 2 cities.
Yeah,
in
but
that song.
I feel like that's the kind of song that like the narrator isn't necessarily someone who knows about like literary nuance.
He doesn't. He might not even know what state it's in.
Yeah.
Well, he probably
Well, no,
does
he does,
because he
he's a
has to
trucker.
pay. Yeah,
He's
he has
like
to
a
pay
street smart
the
trucker.
state crossing fee.
Yeah. Or well, he probably because he takes the back roads.
But
so
he
they
is
wait,
kind
so
of
they
high
need to
on weed, whites, and wine. So
So whites, I've heard that those are amphetamines. Have you ever
they
done
are
whites?
clearly amphetamines. I've never done whites.
Okay. but you are white.
Off the record, I'm pretty white.
And you have white on your white shoelaces.
White shoelaces. That is to symbolize my whiteness.
And there's part of your eyes, because you have brown eyes.
Yeah.
But you have
that is actually to symbolize my love for amphetamines, which I've never tried.
You got them custom filled white. That's cool. That's like those contacts you can put that like change your eye color.
That's right.
Those would be cool if you're a band and you're playing like country and you're like, well, now we're gonna do dark country, and you all put dark contacts that make your eyes like black.
That'd be
like,
hella creepy.
And then you just play like Halloween songs, but it's country style.
That's right.
There's a good Halloween country song that's what's it called? It's like Long Black Veil's kind of Halloween. It's kind of spooky.
Because it's Black Veil.
Well, it's because like you died and now you're a ghost, and because it's being narrated by a ghost.
Oh, neat.
Because in the story,
I didn't know that song.
He had already. You don't know it? It's like 10 years ago on a cold dark night, someone was killed 'neath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed. The fucking guy who shot the guy, he looked a lot like me. Now she walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave. See, like a ghost. Like he's a ghost already by the time. When the night winds wail, nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me.
That's nice.
That's kind of Halloween.
Yeah, I feel like ghosts and country music are sort of intimately intertwined in the first place. So
Yeah,
it's a natural next.
And there's a certain space in most country music. I'm kind of excluding like modern pop country because I'd say that's more of just like that's more of a production feat than like a songwriting feat. A lot of it, and it's not to be like overlooked because there's some good shit that's like Taylor Swift and all that. But like as far as like original style and feel country music, there's a space that they achieve that is very unique to that. And all music has its own space, but like there's such a wide open like
all music has its own universe.
Yeah, that's true.
My coworkers were actually complaining yesterday about how all modern country music has this annoying snap track with.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot, but a lot of like white pop music has that these days.
Yeah, well that's.
But country, yeah, you're right.
Imagine being the person that recorded the snap that got sampled in every pop song in 2018.
Yeah, I wonder how those people get that sample, because it's like a lot of it's like, oh, this is the same one. The same with like, you know, the like, hey, hey, hey. Are you hearing the last note? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
You just have to take my word for it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, there's a nice like, I don't know when it happened, and I mean I don't know a lot of people who were like doing like production of music, you know, like in the 70s and shit, but I feel like at some point there was a crossover, whereas now like a lot of the music that is like the great music of today that's like everyone knows and people can generally agree like, oh yeah, that's a fun song, or like I like that song. A lot of that is more production and sonically based than writing based. It seems like to me, but maybe I'm coming from a judgmental standpoint.
You know,
which I am.
We're all born into a different musical universe.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
What's your favorite musical universe that you've entered, either through your own creation or through another song?
I don't really know how to define that. Every musical universe is different. You can't define a musical universe.
Yeah.
Each person has their own musical universe, and it's the library of every song they've ever heard.
Yeah.
And it shapes who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You can't avoid it.
Even stuff you don't remember, like...
I once
fuck you up in the past and it's still fucking you up on some level. And I mean that in a good way.
I totally ripped off Best Friend by English Beat when I was a kid. When I was writing a song.
How's that song go? We only have one guitar today, so we're having to change it around.
I don't really know how it goes, but it's like so the main melody goes.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And then I guess it's just. But anyway, I didn't know that song existed, and I wrote a song that sounded very similar to it. And then I heard it. And
how did your song go?
I don't remember. I never played it after.
So it's just something similar to that. Is there any record of it, or you just?
I was really young.
There's so many songs that are lost, even by people that don't like become musicians at all. But everyone, I feel like, makes up some kind of song when they're like a kid, or just sings something that's cool. But like so much of that is just lost forever, or it's out there because waveforms never really stop. But it's just far away now.
But it's not a meaningful sound anymore.
It is if you think about it. You draw meaning from it. What's that song But now she's gone, I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. Who taught you that song? But who taught me that song?
I did.
Yeah.
That is a great example of how musical universes are created.
I was trying to get at our professor David Bragger.
We do that in old time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying to say he taught me that song. I thought you taught me that song.
No, you taught it to me before you taught it to me. Yeah. Old time is a good genre of music. I'm glad I got exposed to it.
Me too. I had no idea what it was until Alonzo sent me an email he got that was like, if anyone wants to join old time ensemble, we need some players. I was like, that sounds fun, like old time kind of music. And then I find out that's not the real name of the genre. It's old time music. I feel like old time has a completely different space to like song written country music or even bluegrass.
Oh yeah.
There's a very steady pace and a steady space because there's a melody that doesn't really stop because it's usually an instrumental melody.
We should write the most complex old time song possible.
Oh, I already have. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
It's actually probably not the most. But... Well, you know this one.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really call that old time.
What makes it not old time?
The chords are too like.
Are you just switching between? They play that run again.
So from like.
What are you doing there? Why don't you tell the audience what you're doing there?
So this is my song called Scarecrow, which I wrote about my friend who was dressed up like a scarecrow one day on Halloween, and I was like, damn, that's cool. And there was more to it, but that's what I'll say. But that's, yeah, so the song's in D minor, and then has like a little B minor, but then it kind of goes back real quick to D minor. But then the bridge part of the B part goes to the 5 of 6, or F sharp 7.
Yep.
Or I'll just call that the 3 with the 7.
It is.
And then you kind of just go up that chord to the first inversion of it, and then the bass is ready to get right up to the...
And then you're repeating the same thing,
This is
but
basically
up
a 3.
a fourth.
If you're in D, this is a 3, 6, 2, 5, and then it goes to 1 later. So, and 6. And these are all dominants. E7. And then A7.
Is that the one?
A fucking augmented.
It's a 5.
Which then can...
pretty neat. That's pretty nifty, I guess.
That's not the one I was talking about though, because I feel like with those chords, it's hard to call it old time. Because old time, I feel like has a more stable tonal center.
Yeah.
Well, then
maybe Paradise is pretty complicated.
But
the way you guys played.
That's more of a bluegrass song because that was written like 60s or 70s or something like that.
I don't know my history.
Yeah, the way my bluegrass band plays it is. Thanks to David Clymer, who's coming back in like 2 weeks.
Wow, I can't wait to meet him.
From Kolkata.
He seems like a pretty sweet guy.
He's cool. You like him.
Okay.
You actually know him.
I do, don't I?
Yeah, he's cool. That is trash truck day. You know, that's funny. I thought I heard trash trucks come by like early this morning, and I was like, "Hey, it's the trash truck." You know what? Yeah, they came by, and I was still awake at like 6 a.m. Which is fucked up.
Yes.
They're coming back now, and it's.
You were still awake at 6 a.m. today?
Yeah, I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh, it's too bad.
Until like pretty late. But I also, because I took a nap from like 8 to midnight or something last night. So, I got that plus like another 3-4 hours today.
Do you want to hear something frustrating?
Yeah.
Computers these days are not made with DVD drives.
Yeah, I hate that.
I wanted to watch a DVD last night, and I whipped out my old The Parent Trap. Thanks for asking.
What's that?
It's a late 90s Lindsay Lohan movie.
What exact year is it from?
1990s, early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty young in it. She's
Lindsay Lohan?
You know the redheaded chick that went crazy, but before that she was a good actress.
You mean Lindsay Lohan? I know who that is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, her.
Wasn't she in Freaky Friday?
She was Freaky Friday, the remake. They filmed that at Pally?
The original Freaky Friday, yeah.
Oh, she wasn't in the original Freaky Friday.
What? Wait, what was the original?
I don't know. I think she was in the remake.
I didn't know there was a remake.
I think the one that everybody knows is the.
Whatever the one that I know, it's the one Lindsay Lohan's in.
That's the original.
It's the one from like 2000 something maybe.
That's the original.
Well, I don't know if there's an original.
That seems like that's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the same movie?
Yeah. Is that the original?
I didn't know there was more than one.
Okay,
But
so
they filmed it at
that is pretty neat. I didn't know that. I've seen that movie, but I don't remember it being a Pally because I was a child. So anyway, I whip out my old brick computer, which is 1,000 years old and has a DVD drive, and the DVD player won't play the fucking DVD.
Is it a Blu-ray?
No, it's just
shitty.
It's a shitty app. It's called the #1 media player, and it's not.
Obviously, it's not number one.
Obviously, not #1 at being good. So it wouldn't fucking play.
More like it's just, #1 at being a shitty app.
I thought the movie was going to start because the FBI warning came on, but it just paused on that and wouldn't start playing.
More like it's #1 at not playing movies.
That's right. That's why I got the app, is so it wouldn't play movies. So.
More like it's #1 at taking up space on your computer and not working.
Yeah, so I try to update the app because it's from 2012 and I'd never updated it. So I update the app by going online and downloading the app.
This is #1.
Download the update, right.
It's more like #1 as it doesn't work.
Yes. So I download the update, which takes forever because my brick is 1,000 years old. And when I finally try to install the update, it says, in order to install this app, you must first uninstall the original. So I click OK. But then an error code comes up. It says, you can't uninstall this app while it is currently running. And I'm thinking, well, it is absolutely not currently running. I just closed it.
Yeah.
But it was still currently running. So I had to go to Task Manager and end the script that was... and then I deleted the app. I reinstalled the app. This took about an hour, which was half the length of the movie.
Your microwave pizza is cold.
By then, my microwave pizza was frozen.
And your Mountain Dew has become warm.
My microwave pizza that I had left in the freezer was frozen, and my Mountain Dew had already been pissed out. So.
And your Doritos were gone for another reason.
For another reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I got the installed version. I started it up again, and it didn't play. Same problem. So anyway, I just think that DVDs are just a waste of everybody's time, and it's too bad.
Yeah, #1 movie player, more like 5 a.m. Because that's when it'll play by. Is
I don't think it would have played by. I gave up by then, but I don't think it would have played by 5 a.m.
So you know what's also shitty is because they don't have DVD drives on new computers. You also don't have CD drives, which is usually the same drive historically.
That is, it's the same drive, but at least
still like
at least the CD player would have worked because
but so not a lot of people have a CD player.
That is true.
Because you get a CD, which I feel like people who are like on the promenade or in fucking other places that there's a lot of foot traffic. They're like, hey dog, you want a mixtape? And then you get their mixtape that they hand out with the little paper covering over the CD, and it either has a picture of like them and the track list, or it's just like written in Sharpie. And then you walk away and they're like, hey, that's $10. You got to pay for that. And you say, well, I won't do that. Or you do, and you pay them, and then you've made a great purchase.
That's right.
And I was in Atlanta, and I was at a hotel lobby,
yeah,
like Motel whatever it was, Motel
sure.
America, and Cole's gesturing for me to get real up close to the mic.
But the point of gesturing is you don't have to announce it.
This is actually the only ASMR music show.
Isn't every music show definitionally ASMR?
Well, what does ASMR stand for?
I fucking...
Ass, shit, my rock hard dick. Right?
So you were in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, so I was at fucking motel lobby, and someone had left a bunch of copies of their mixtape, like mix CD of songs they made on the counter. So I took one, and I listened to it later in Missouri, and it was okay. It was pretty fun. In that same motel lobby that same night, a guy came in with full gold teeth in front, and he was like, I forget exactly what, but he was like, hey man, you trying to get some weed? And I said, oh no thanks. And I forget how we got. He was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I make music. And I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I sell weed.
A match made in heaven.
I was like, hell yeah, man. That's a cool guy.
So let's talk about being out on the road.
Oh yeah, I like the road. You've actually toured and played shows.
I did tour out on the road, but my favorite thing is just being out on the road late at night. It's see my pretty Alice in every streetlight.
Who?
Alice. I've actually never been to Texas, which
Texas
is really amazing because it's so big. You think you would have just accidentally ended up there at some point.
Texas fucking.
But
awesome.
I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari. That's in New Mexico. I've been from Tehachapi to Tonopah.
Driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. What did you do when you were there?
Where?
In those states, in Tucson.
So I actually only went to Tucson once, and that was when I was 4. Was my my great aunt Hella's funeral, which was out there. Yeah, I met her once.
Okay.
And she knit me a sweater. It was very nice. So.
What color was the sweater?
I don't think I ever wore that sweater. So. And I always called her Aunt Aya because I couldn't say Hella.
Oh, that's cute.
Imagine being named Hella. I just thought of that.
Hella?
Hella.
Like Hella?
Yes.
Was she Greek or something?
No.
Or weirdly Eastern European?
She was I mean, we're
Ashkenazi?
Yeah, we're Ashkenazis. Yeah. So anyway, I just realized how weird the name is. But anyway, I was out in Tucson, and I was driving the back roads so I wouldn't get weighed.
Did people just stop you and be like, I'm gonna guess your weight while you're on the highway touring?
Well, I was a 4-year-old kid, so whenever you see a baby who's really big, you're like, how much does he weigh? Because big babies are impressive, and I was a big baby.
Yeah.
At 4.
Still are.
At 4, I was a big baby. So.
Did you have favorite snacks while you were on touring on the road?
Yes, I'm glad. They are as follows.
Weed, whites, and wine. That's man. I like.
It's
those
weird
things,
because
too.
I was 4, but I was a crackhead at the time.
Were you a crack baby, or did you find it like later on in your career?
Like I said, I was 4.
Yeah.
I was a baby.
Yeah.
I was still a baby
Were you
as
addicted
4.
to crack
At
from when
4,
you were
I was
born,
still
or
a
did
baby.
you get addicted later?
What? I would have been addicted had I not stopped taking it.
Are you still addicted to?
I was a crackhead because of all the times I had cracked my head.
Oh yeah.
I actually cracked my head
What cracked your head?
on 2 separate occasions because I'm just so good at standing up.
Yeah, man. That's awesome that you were willing to still, keep going.
Keep moving,
on
yeah.
your tour that you did. But you actually toured with fucking School of Rock, huh?
I did.
You
I teach at School of Rock. I'm a former student at School of Rock. And back when I was a wee lad, I used to tour with them out on the road. And we had some fun times. I played at Lollapalooza.
Shouts out Eli, School of Rock, Denver.
Eli at School of Rock, Denver. I might have met you at some point. XOXO Cole. But yeah, those were some fun experiences.
Where did you tour in the band that you toured with?
So I've been all across the U.S. One time I started in Philly and made it west, and the other time I started in Phoenix and toured east. So both times we ended up in Chicago.
So from Philly to Chicago and from Phoenix to Chicago?
Yes, one of those tours was twice as long, but they were actually the same length in time. So taking the Phoenix to Chicago tour was a lot of driving, a lot of sleeping.
How much did you drive a day? Or like, your whole posse, how much did you drive a day?
Oh, a lot of driving. It was a lot of driving.
Yeah, that's a long distance. And it's weird, it's like the West, like, there's big cities every like 300 miles.
Yeah.
But then there's just this part where there's none for like 800. Like you get, from LA where we're
that's where I drive. That's where I keep moving.
Yeah. We got LA and then you go east 300 miles is Phoenix.
I feel like you're skipping the part where LA is fucking huge.
Well, it is. But I'm saying once you get out of the hugeness of LA, you just try to drive through the desert for a while and then you're in Phoenix. And then you're going to drive a lot more. And I mean, there's Tucson for sure on the way. But then you eventually, the only really big city is Albuquerque. And then you got like Las Cruces, which is cool. And you got Santa Fe, which is small but big art scene, I guess. I don't know.
I've been to Santa Fe, but I don't remember.
Apparently there's like, you could do shows there.
Nice.
I don't know. I've heard.
I played in Albuquerque. Albuquerque's really metal.
But then after that, yeah, Albuquerque's fun.
It's really metal.
I got a grilled cheese at one.
They're into metal.
Yeah.
That's all they want to hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably lots of people there.
I'm sure there are.
There's
lots
like
of people
500,000 people in that city or something.
That's not that big.
Yeah, but
I guess that's big.
it's big compared to open desert.
It's New Mexico.
Yeah. But after that, there's like no cities for a long time. The closest city is like Oklahoma City. Or El Paso, but
El
that's just
Paso.
right where Las Cruces is. They're like next to each other,
Yeah.
basically. But then if you like go through Texas, there's like I only know this shit because like a lot of times I'll just go on Google Maps and like plan an imaginary tour of like cities and be like, well, where can I? Yeah, that's fun. But I was like, where can I play with that I don't have to drive 1,000 miles? So from El Paso or from Albuquerque, you got like Abilene, Texas, which is kind of halfway between there and Dallas, or you got Odessa, I think, and then you got like one other one, or there's Lubbock and there's Amarillo.
I will say that when I'm comparing the years where I was involved in the School of Rock tour, where you play the shows and you sit in the bus. It's kind of boring, but you're just playing the shows. You're having a lot of fun. You don't need to worry about any of the logistics. Versus last summer when I actually went on my own tour that us kids coordinated. It's definitely a really different environment, and how much more responsibility you have really changes.
Did you have to drive at all?
I did do some driving. I know. I did some driving.
Did you find love on your tour?
Yeah, I fell in love with the American Midwest. Ohio, Indiana, my favorite state. No. Yeah, dude. And then I cracked my head open. That was a great trip. Turn like with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Nice. I like that we had the same idea. Well, so that's awesome that you liked America when you were there.
But I've been to other countries. Okay, I've been to Canada.
Mm-hmm. Where in Canada?
Toronto. I went to Vancouver when I was 2. I don't remember that. But I went to Toronto last spring.
A lot of comic.
It was really cold. What? Yeah, I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's cool too.
Yeah.
You like the Leafs? Or do you like any hockey teams?
I don't care about hockey even in the slightest. I went to a hockey game last Friday.
Leafs are good.
Ducks Bruins. Bruins won. It was a boring game, but it was fun to go.
My parents met each other at a Kings game, so I have to like the Kings.
You have to like the Kings. I have to like the Kings. 2012 NHL Stanley Cup champs.
Didn't they bully some kid like real bad for something like in 2016? Or
Did they who? Did they bully some kid?
I don't know. I heard there was like some drama where they were like making fun of some kid.
That's so mean.
I know, but
Go Kings!
I feel like all athletes at a professional level. Are gonna
and I've been to Mexico.
You know,
and I've been to Taiwan.
we're in Mexico.
Puerto Vallarta and Cancun.
Isn't Puerto Vallarta like near Guadalajara?
Maybe.
Or is it? Do you know where? I'm trying to think.
I don't know where it is.
You've been to TJ?
Surprisingly, I've not been to TJ, despite its closeness.
I want to go there. I've never been to Mexico at all. I was almost gonna go.
I'm not allowed to cross the border though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got drugs in your car.
Yeah. We
Actually,
eat whites and wine.
I didn't say that. Cole actually is clean from drugs.
I don't even have a car.
To the feds listening to this podcast.
I don't even have a car. If you see me driving a car, it's not me because I don't have a car.
Or you stole
and there are no drugs in it because I don't have a car.
Or you stole it and you stole someone's identity and you stole those drugs and you have drugs in your car.
Is it really a drug if it's not even your car?
Is it even a drug if you stole it? No.
All right, we're gonna do a performance of "Willin" by
Little Feat.
By Little Feat. Thank you.
What do you want to play? Or do you just want to just sing? Or you could play something.
No, I'll just hit my knees together.
Oh, also, we've been treating this as the mic, but that's not even plugged in. We're just going from the task cam.
I didn't know that. All right, the more you know. Let's roll. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Take it around again. But I've been warped by the rain, driven by snow. I'm drunk and dirty. Don't you know what I'm still willing? I've been out on the road late at night. I see my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Dallas Alice. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, to Tehachapi to Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever been made, driven the back roads so I wouldn't get away. But if you give me weed, white sand wine, and you show me a sign, well, I'll be willing to be moving. I've been kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my head stoned in, but I'm still on my feet, and I'm still willing. Smuggled some smokes and folks from Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico.
Mexico. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari to Hatchapeta, Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever been made, driven the back roads so I wouldn't get weighed. And if you give me weed, whites and wine, and you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving.
That was nice.
Right.
So let's talk about drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your favorite drugs?
I don't know.
This is a fictional story, by the way.
I don't even know who this is.
That ringtone kind of sounds like Willin, doesn't it?
Yeah. You should see James dance to that ringtone. That's why I
Okay.
have it. I just remember James dancing to that. Well, you're asking me about drugs, right?
Yeah. By the way,
Maybe that was the feds calling, and we just narrowly escaped being locked up. For
That's
talking
right.
About drugs on a podcast.
I don't think I've ever done a drug of any kind. That's illegal.
I'm trying to not do too many drugs, but I like weed sometimes. A little bit of weed. I like mushrooms. For a little bit
A
of.
little bit of whites and wine. I like mushrooms actually. I
like-
cut up in my salad, on my pizza,
Yeah.
anything. You know,
Mushroom
you get a
pizza's
mushroom
good.
pizza,
I
you
used to
eat a
hate
slice of mushroom pizza, and you trip for like 5 hours.
I used to hate mushrooms when I was a kid, and they made me throw up when I eat a bunch one time. Because I was like, I'm going to try mushrooms now. And I did. I'm like, oh, these are good. And then I just threw up all of them a lot.
That's too
in the
bad.
snow outside.
When I was a kid, I was afraid of mushrooms
Really?
because
They're weird. They're not plants or animals.
they're fungi.
Yeah, it's weird.
That doesn't make them more appealing in any way.
I know.
But they're pretty good. But when I was a kid, I had this children's book called Babar. I don't know if you guys.
Babar's fucking
the,
good.
the Elephant King, right?
So good. Yeah.
Great book.
Classic.
In the story, Babar he's not the king of the elephants. He goes off to New York City and has an adventure there, I think. I have vague recollections of the book. But anyway, while he's gone, the king of the elephants eats a poison mushroom and dies.
Oh.
And then I think Babar comes back and becomes the king.
And Babar never ate any mushrooms. That's
He never
why
ate any mushrooms.
survived.
That's the thing that scared me about the mushrooms is that this king of the elephants totally just died from eating a bad mushroom. And they framed it really poorly in the book. They're like, and then he got sick. So sick that he died. It was quite... Anyway, I didn't
So
want to
you
eat
gotta
any
be
mushrooms
careful
after
around
that. Yeah, got to be careful around those.
So how long before you realized that your fear was not necessarily based in...
Like 15 years.
Yeah. It took a while sometimes. But yeah, mushrooms are actually pretty good, it turns out, if you do them right. They still smell really weird to me. Like if someone's cooking mushrooms, especially in butter, that's such a strong... Because butter frying anything just smells weird. Even though it's going to taste good, it usually smells weird. I remember whenever my mom cooks like a burger, I'm like at her house in Washington, and I smell it from like upstairs, and I just have to like go outside because it's so
She
strong.
cooked portobello mushrooms?
I like portobello.
Portobellos are something else.
Have you ever had a whole one?
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't think. You know what sucks? There's good veggie burgers out there that are like made of black beans and like stuff.
Yeah.
They gotta have a texture to them. But I ordered a veggie burger at Lee Vining Mobile Mart, and no hate because that's a beautiful place, and I have nothing but respect for Lee Vining and the Mobile Mart there. But I ordered a veggie burger, and they brought me a patty on a bun that was like, the patty was like a bunch of like, you know, squash, zucchini, and like onions. And this actually sounds kind of good to me now, but I was like 8 or something, and just these like mashed up vegetables with nothing in them, no substance but the vegetables. And that's when I think of like a tofu burger, like a boca burger or something. They should market that as a grilled vegetable sandwich, not a veggie burger. The term burger implies you're going to bite into something very substantial, and I was thoroughly disappointed.
That is quite a sad story you got there.
Mobile Mart in Lee Vining is cool as fuck, though. I used to play there, my family friend of mine played there, named Jim, and he was cool. And me and my sister got to play with him and his friend Tom, and Hurricane Harry, or whatever his name was, Hurricane Robert. But it was fun. Me and my sister sister sings. She has a beautiful voice, and I played piano from a young age. So we would play some songs together. Sometimes, because like my mom would be like, "You guys should play together." And then we would do that, or we would do it on our own sometimes. But we played "Free Fallin'" by Tom Petty. That was one of our standards. We did "Nine Crimes" by Damien Rice, which is a great song. I remember not having a low enough voice to sing his part when I was like 8. I was trying. And that's a great song. Hey, do you know Jason Isbell?
I do not.
I gotta show you him later. He wrote some great songs. He's a country guy from now. We gotta get Old Corn Liquors on there.
This could be an next episode. This land is yours. This land is my land. From California to New York Island, the redwood forest, the musky waters. This land was made for you and me. Thanks for.
Isn't there more to that song?
Oh yeah. As I was walking a river high, I saw above me in the skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. The sun was made. I only know 2 verses of that song, so.
Can you list all the presidents to this beat?
Yes.
3, 4.
George Washington,
Washington.
John Adams,
John Adams.
Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson,
I get tired. Sorry. That's it.
Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison.
Enough. That's plenty. That's 9.
That's 9.
How many are there? 45?
44.
44?
Grover Cleveland was president twice.
Oh yeah, but there have been 45 different instances of a
Yes.
president being sworn in.
Yes. Wait, do presidents not get resworn in when they start the second term?
I feel like they do, yeah. Because you have to make a vow, right? Because doesn't the vow end when you're in the office? Hey, so how many terms did Grover Cleveland serve?
2. You can only serve 2.
But
Unless
that was
you're.
before they made that law.
I know, but he still only served 2.
Oh, okay.
The only president to serve more than 2 is FDR, and he's the only president ever to serve more than 2 in history because they made an amendment.
After.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about that law Ted Cruz is trying to do where Congress people or senators, I think, can only do 2 terms max?
Why would Ted Cruz want that law?
There's plenty of well, it goes into effect after it's so he would still be able to serve 2 more if it passed. But I guess I don't know. I heard a criticism of it, which was that lobbyists who are very experienced would be able to take advantage of the new Congress people. But I think just elect Congress people who are not going to fall for that shit.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do because so many Congress people are, pre-chosen by a certain society.
I think one of the big problems with the way Congress is structured is that, are you talking about senators or Congress people?
This bill is specifically for senators, I think.
Okay. Because Congress you only serve 2 terms as congressman. That means that by the time, if you're a political gamer, gamers rise up. If you're a political gamer, which you are if you're in Congress, then as soon as you're sworn in, you're already working towards re-election.
Yeah.
Which means that everything you do is geared towards getting yourself re-elected, which is not doing your job. You run elections, you campaign in order to do your job. You don't do your job in order to campaign. So
maybe we should have it be 1 term and it's a long term. And then
Supreme Court Justice, 1 term?
But not that long. And it's long, but you can be thrown out for certain reasons. Like if you do some shitty stuff.
Like in real life?
Yeah, but we should enforce it. I don't know. Fuck government. We should have government. There's no good way to do that. Everyone in government is accessory to war crimes and other shit like that. But it's hard not to be, I guess, for them.
So, you want to talk about
Yeah,
politics?
this is a good music podcast.
This is dedicated to my favorite senator. I don't know his name, but he resides in West Virginia. Oh, it's mountains, West Virginia. There is mountains, shelter. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Memories laid, stained to water. Dark and dusty, faded on the sky. Miss the taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. It's the best part of the song. See, best sing along. I hear a voice in the morning hours. She calls to me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Down country road, take me home. Down country road. Nice. Is it cultural appropriation for us to do that song if we're not from the country or from West Virginia? Yeah, I think it's cultural appropriation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. How close are, if you're living in the suburbs, are you allowed to appropriate more from city music or country music? I'm glad you asked. You are equally allowed to appropriate from either music.
I guess then neither one is a crime.
Neither one is a crime.
Music,
I understand the complex nature of cultural dynamics associated. What?
I don't.
Yeah, but I pretend to.
Okay.
I like to qualify the next statement by saying that. That being said, as individuals living in a society, a global village, as individuals living in a global village,
society,
where all cultures are connected and we live in all cultures at the same time. You might be very much living inside one culture and be sort of distant from other cultures, but every culture is part of the same web of cultures in our global village. And you have access to all of it. So, I mean, legally, yes.
It's weird and like.
But just as a musician, as an artist, there should be no
Like brick
wall that separates you from a piece of music.
I agree
Music
with that,
is universal.
because anything
Music doesn't have a culture.
Anything that's been put out there.
Music has a culture, but it's also universal.
Anything that has been put out there by an artist.
It's
now
part
is
of your
part
musical
of the universe.
exactly.
And anything in the universe is usable by anyone. Like I love West African music recently, and stuff I'm making is like I'm trying to either emulate that or draw upon like tropes that are used in that. And I'm not trying to say like that I made that independent of culture or those cultures that have made that music that I'm emulating. So if I was saying like, oh yeah, that's just like I just made that up, like a certain rhythm or something, then that would be lying, because it's hard to make something completely new because so much has been done. But like, I don't think it's wrong to take something that speaks to you and kind of use that in what you do.
I mean, if anyone, it's great if you're woke enough to understand the influences that have shaped you as a musician and be able to credit them when you're talking about your music. But it's certainly not a requirement. I mean, everyone gets all of their music from everywhere. You might get it from here, and I might get it from there, and I might get it a little bit from there. There's no one place that your music comes from. And when, all the music comes in to your body, to your mind, and it comes out as a different product. So that's where you get credit for it. And obviously you have influences, and if you understand those influences and where they come from, then that's great. You can talk about that. I like to talk about my influences. What are some of your biggest musical influences?
Me?
Yep.
Well, my favorite band is Animal Collective, and they have a lot of influences from. I like to take like artists you like and look at artists they like, because
it extends the web.
That chain can go very far into the past and into whatever. But Animal Collective does a lot of like rhythms that are not that common in like Western music, I guess.
Let's hear some of them.
Like, let's see here. What's a good one? I don't know. There's one that's like
That was nice.
I don't know the words of that song, and it's sung by two people, so that's why I did that Buca de Beppo shit. But that, I mean, I don't know, that's not that weird of a rhythm, but it's
that was actually,
it's kind of both,
sounded like 12/8
and it's both 3 and 6.
What? Oh, yeah.
That's definitely there, and the drum track makes it, which I can't do right now, but it's definitely like, and also,
I think that's called a polyrhythm.
yeah.
Let's talk about.
Polyrhythms are cool.
Yeah.
I like polyrhythms. There's some crazy polyrhythms, like, I don't know, like, well, there's polyrhythms, and I wish I could, like, think of specific examples more. But there's, do you know Jay Dilla?
Yeah.
You know, people talk about a Dilla-type beat?
Yeah.
Which is, like, there's offset from, like, a grid of music, which a lot of music
the drum fill.
Yeah, a lot of music adheres to a grid where it'd be like, da, 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 and even if it's, swung. There's a set system of rhythm that happens. But in a Jay Dilla song, a lot of them, it'll be like...
It's much looser
I
as a
can't do
rhythm.
it like at all, but like, yeah, exactly. It's very loose.
It's really hard to emulate. Like you have to be bad on purpose, but it's good.
And you can, but the thing is, you can use subsystems of rhythm, and a lot of it comes out as polyrhythm, where like the snare will be on the beat directly on 2, but for 4 it will not. It'll be, say, a click earlier. We'll just call it a click as some kind of measure of time. And then the hat, instead of being any kind of thing, it'll be like there's 4 of them in the space between 1 to 2, and they're even, but then they're not even the next time, something like that. I don't know, this is how I'm hearing it. I've been trying to do that like on keys and on drums for stuff.
I feel like that. I mean, those distances are measurable if you count it, but I feel like that defeats the purpose of the feel.
But yeah, because ultimately it should be feel.
Yeah.
And if you can do it without counting, just by feeling it and having your body learn the counting rather than thinking about it, that's optimal. But I feel like a lot of people...
The way you count it also changes the way it feels.
Yeah.
Which is...
True. But whether you're thinking about it or not and how much you're thinking about it will affect... Yeah, unless you have such independence of mind and body that you can just like...
I don't think anyone does.
I think people get there though. People definitely like... Some people can think so systematically about what they're playing.
I mean, yeah, as a musician, the way the musician feels it, counts it, changes how the song feels. Yeah. But also the way the listener counts it can change how the song feels.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can be two different things too.
Yeah.
The listener and the maker. But I feel like a lot of people like neo-soul drummers and people like that are like, they can approach it in a very countable way, like the 7 swing or the 5 swing. Where it'll be like, yeah. Man, I can't do it. Like this would be the swing.
And it's slightly off. It feels slightly off.
But then now I'm gonna stop counting that way.
No, now I'm sort of hearing it as a, but I'm sort of hearing it as 6 now, with a swing. So
but someone who's practiced a lot more than me can like probably not think about it and still by feel alone make it sound presentable or like uniform enough to be like, oh yeah, that's a beat, rather than like that guy's just not good, which could come across. But it's definitely different to do it by counting versus by feel. And like, I feel like when you're doing it by feel, maybe you're still counting on some level, unless you're really truly like free from that, which is awesome, which I'm trying to do. But like, there's like counting, there's like an unconscious counting that kind of comes up. Anyway, we're at an hour, 3 minutes.
Nice.
Which is nice. You want to play a song?
Yeah.
What should we play?
Whatever you want. Play something by Ween.
Yeah. Want to do She's Your Baby? Or you want to do another one? You want to do,
Do you know, If You Could Save Yourself?
Nah, I gotta learn that one.
Okay.
I know anything from White Pepper pretty well.
Let's do Stay Forever. It's a classic one.
Okay. Do you want to play?
No, you do it.
Wait. Can you sing though? Or you can play piano too?
Is there another thing I could play, or
play piano?
You don't have another guitar? It's fine. Just you play, Hal.
I mean, I do, but
no, you got it.
All right.
In the morning sun, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you so many things about how much I truly loved you, about how much you really mean. Ooh, so far away, but it's so easy to see. When I'm away, I wanna put my arms around you. When I wanna know, do you feel the same way? So many colors that surround you. 'Cause so bright I could hardly see. A light reflects on all the things that make you real. Things that make you truly free. So far away, but it's so easy to see. Wait out away, I wanna put my arms around you. Take it away! I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever. I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever with you. And I wanna know, do you feel the same way? 'Cause if you do, I wanna stay forever with you. Jada came back from the stairs, smiling, with the writing of the Kafka in hand, and a buddy in a can. Slipping and sliding, you feel yourself asking, why would you want me to try? Squeezing your wrist as she's pulling you closer, down where the devils are, dying with laughter, led to a place where there's no form of pleasure. She blows you a kiss from her lips. She's your baby. She's your baby. She's your baby. Those below us cannot be renounced, 'cause they're talking. And for once I wish they'd shut up their mouths, lock their doors and stay in the house. Stay in the house. While you're inside there, you might want to question the fact that you're not quite the same. And look to the room where she's keeping so quiet, a million layers of crust and deposit. Blanket the seasons and bury the reasons you told her that this was for good. This was for good. She's your baby. She's your baby. She's your baby. about Ween. So I discovered this band a while back. They're pretty neat. They're called Ween. Jasper likes them.
You should check them out.
You should check them out.
They played SpongeBob.
They played the song at the end of the SpongeBob movie and about how to tie your shoes.
And they played Ocean Man and a SpongeBob movie.
Yeah. In fact, if you don't know how to tie your shoes, we have a little song for you.
Really, we're gonna do this?
Sure, why not? I feel like we have a couple listeners that might not know how to tie their shoes. Perhaps their snail hasn't found this particular mix yet, and they went to work, their shoes untied, and they can't reach the stove because they're on the other side of the. I feel like you could really use the song. Want to learn how to tie your shoes? It's a very easy thing to do. Just sit on down and give me the scoop. What's that? It's called the loop-de-loop. Just take this in each hand. You go over and under again. Make a loop-de-loop and pull. And your shoes are looking cool. You go over and back, left to right. Pull them up and you pull them tight. Like bunny ears on a Christmas bow. You lace them up and you're ready to go. You make a loop-de-loop and pull. And your shoes are looking cool. You make a loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking cool. Nice.
All right, thanks everyone. That's gonna be it. We've been. Jasper
Wait, aren't we gonna? Also, we have a. We want to tell them. We should play Ripped Pants one more time. Okay. And then we'll go. One more lesson is we really want you to be true to yourself and just don't turn yourself into a meme, right? That's our parting lesson, I think.
Or do if you want.
But know that you might accidentally make a bunch of people worried.
And just know that if you become a meme, there's nothing really that's irreversible.
Yeah.
So you can always change some things in your life and change who you are.
Yeah.
From a meme to not a meme or the other way around.
Exactly.
Change is possible. We're going to play a song about a man who changed something and then changed back. I put this in my mouth. I don't know if you care. That pit. All right. I used it to grind like some of the plaque off my teeth.
I thought that I had everybody on my side, but I
went and blew it all sky high. And now she won't even spare a passing glance. All just because I
ripped my pants when Big Larry came out just to put him down. SpongeBob turned into a clown, and no girl ever wants to dance with a fool who ripped his pants. I know I shouldn't look around, I shouldn't care, but the pain feels so much worse. And all the naked no one is a lot less fun than a burn from the sun or sand in your past. Now I learned a lesson I will soon forget. To listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like a fool who ripped his pants.
All right,
Thanks for listening, guys. This was episode 1 of the what do we call it at the beginning?
The Music Podcast.
The Music Podcast with Cole and Jasper.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Love
Or good
you guys.
morning. Love you.